YouTube has continued to attack alternative media by demonetizing most of our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit our Amazon store or our Patreon page. Links below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Theater, and Netflix has finally announced the true fate of House of Cards. Ever since Kevin Spacey was basically fired in an absolute disgrace based on the allegations made by him, or at him by Anthony Rapp, the fate of House of Cards' final season has really been up in the air. First it was, he was fired. Then they said this is like the last season. The show is going to be canceled. And then they pulled it from production schedule pretty much indefinitely while they were trying to retool what to do with it. And now the show will be coming back next year with a truncated final season, with Wright leading the show and bringing it into its final chapters. Now, a big part of the reason why this is happening, I think, is because there were many allegations made against Anthony Rapp for being the reason why the show was canceled. You know, like, oh, you had to come out and say something happened 30 plus years ago. You just got 2,000 people fired from a job that they need right around the holiday season. Things like that. I mean, and those are kind of hard things to talk about because people are entitled to their opinions, for one, absolutely. And two, it's a tough subject to look at because you got people out there that are upset that people are losing their jobs when they did nothing wrong here. Netflix is stuck between a rock and a hard place because they want to come across as not supporting any kind of sexual harassment or sexual assault or sexual abuse. And so they want to, be kind of like, you could say, a leader in that department by firing and completely severing ties with Kevin Spacey. But then, of course, how do you end a show like this where Kevin Spacey's character, Frank Underwood, is entirely just the show that surrounds him? The entire show is dependent on him. Well, they're switching gears over to Robin Wright's Claire Underwood as being the star of the show. And that's the whole thing. So right now, they're saying that the show is going to go back into production mid-January to probably be released sometime in late 2018. And the show will be 8 episodes. It's going to bring closure to the fans. This, of course, is coming from Netflix head of content acquisition, content officer Ted Sarandos. And I'm just gonna I'll take a bold stance here. I think you bring back Kevin Spacey, you end it with 8 episodes, and then you call it a day. I do. And the reason why I say that is for a couple of reasons. One, Anthony Rapp, I don't think he called out for him to lose his job. It's a civil matter at that point. If they talked about it, if they accepted it, if he accepted the apology, which the way Kevin Spacey handled the apology is really what kind of brought a lot of this about, to be fair. But if they talk about it and they work it out privately, then I think that's good. I think that's that. That should be that. All right. It's a private matter because it did impact several thousand people. It did delay production, so on and so forth. Now those people are going to be given work again, but it's going to be a shorter season, so less money. And, you have to ask yourself how many people out there are going to be directly impacted by this in the long run and how many are going to voice their concerns. So again, I feel just finishing up with Kevin Spacey, calling it a day, be done. Because it's not like in regards to this. And this is the reason why I view this whole thing as being slightly hypocritical. Because in the process of everything with Louis C.K. and Kevin Spacey, Netflix hasn't pulled previous stuff with them in it. Hulu is not pulling old episodes of Louis. Right? Netflix flagship, original series was House of Cards. You got 5 seasons, every episode starring Kevin Spacey. Those are still on the air. Those are not being pulled off air. So really, it's Netflix was doing a knee-jerk reaction to a very large story at the time. And that's really about it. So I don't really view it as them being like, oh, we are doing good. It's more like, how do we react to this? Holy crap. And that's what they did. So I feel like, there's a bit leeway here in terms of how to handle the situation. Quite frankly, Kevin Spacey probably should not have said anything without going through a publicist. Quite frankly, any celebrity should not say anything in this regard without going through a publicist, because the way they say things will oftentimes be taken out of context, misinterpreted, misconstrued, spread around, and it gets to be really crazy. And of course, once that happens, there's really no coming back from it. So finishing up House of Cards with Claire Underwood's character is going to, I don't think, go over very well with a lot of fans. They didn't tune in for Claire. Some did. I mean, and Robin Wright has been able to, in previous years, use that as a bit of a bargaining chip in order to get herself a bigger pay raise. And I think also executive producer on the show, and she also directed a number of episodes. So she was throwing her weight around for, you could say, productive reasons, absolutely. And of course, she is a star, and she has fans, but ultimately the show was popular because of Kevin Spacey. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, how the fans respond, and ultimately when the show comes out to see whether or not they actually watch it. But at that point in time, Netflix is just taking the L. They're just going to make this thing finish up. They're going to finish telling the story the best way that they can, and then that's where they're going to leave it. And fans might get closure, but ultimately, without Frank Underwood being involved, they're not going to get any bit of closure at all. So it is a big lose-lose for Netflix as a whole, but at least fans do get 8 more episodes with the characters that they do like, just minus the one that right now no one likes. Anyway, what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.